One of the other big questions on the minds of the international business leaders who paid me to advise them was this: how do you bring young people into organizations? Most people between the ages of 18 and 25 have no desire to work for an organization and prefer to have an online business, they said. So how can we use talent at this age in the organization, and how can we design the atmosphere to employ these people? Well, here is part of that answer. Okay. Look, we're all struggling with this idea here as well. And what's interesting is that the life journey, the human condition, the script seems to have been flipped. It used to be in your 20s, you were trying to figure out, what do I really want to do? And in your 30s, you finally got to the point where it's like, well, how can I just make more money? And then in your 40s, you started asking, well, what does all this hard work mean anyway? And then in your 50s, you started asking the question, how can I pay it forward and how can I make a difference? #dream job. Well, it seems now that script is entirely reversed. So people in their 20s are starting out asking the question, how can I pay it forward? How can I make it a difference? #dream job. And then in their 30s, after a while, they go, well, what does all this hard work mean anyway? And in their 40s, they're saying, I actually have to make some money now. And in their 50s, they're finally coming to the point where they're saying, well, what do I really want to do? So when I ask audiences of people in front of me, business leaders in particular, these three questions, if they think they are, the answers are true or false. And I want you to think about these statements that I make here. And I want you to see if you think that they are true or if they are false. Okay, there's gonna be three questions. You ready? Here's the first question, or the first statement, and tell me whether this is true or false. 1, young people today are not as productive as they were 20 years ago. True or false? Number 2, left to their own devices, young people will get actively disengaged. True or false? And then number 3, there are no real young A players out there who are available and who want a job versus doing an online business. True or false? So here's what you need to know. All of those are false. You only have the wrong company positioning and the wrong recruiting process. The reason why young people are so important in our workforce economy isn't because they are different or more special than other generations before them. It is just because there's so many of them. You see, if you started the timeline of human growth at 1171 AD, okay, and you took the number of years it took to double the population. At that point, it took 514 years to double the population. And then at that point, it took 166 years to double. And then at that point, it took 79 years to double. And since you and I have been on this planet, it's only taken 39 years to double the population. So population growth grows like concentric circles, okay? And every new ring on the exterior circumference is actually greater than the entire diameter of the circle, which means each new generation is far bigger than any generation before it in mass, in volume, in the sheer number of human beings. So by 2025, what we call millennials, or young people born between 1981 and 1994, making them right now age 27 to 40 years old, that generation will comprise 3/4 of the entire global workforce. And the generation behind them, what we call Gen Z, or people who are 26 years or younger right now, globally 41% of the entire population is 26 years or younger right now. So it is essential that you figure this out, how to hire and recruit and lead and motivate young people, because these young people will be your competitors and the mass of the entire consumer marketplace as well. And what young people know how to do is how to recruit other young people. And young people also know what other young people want to buy and how to properly market and sell to other young people. So this is a situation where if you cannot beat them, and you cannot because there's too many of them, you need to join them. It means that you need to learn how to recruit them to your side and how to retain them. It's important that you realize they don't need to adapt to you and the way that you do things and the way that you want things done. That is a mistake that most organizations are making. They are trying to get young people to work like the older people work, and they are losing their young people They don't need to adapt to you. You have to adapt to them. And it starts with first identifying what they want and what they are looking for. So let me give you what young people are looking for today. There are 5 things that they're looking for. You're going to want to write these down if you are taking notes. 5 things young people are looking for if you want to recruit them and you want to retain them. Number 1 is people. They want to work where other top talented young people work. This is the reason why all the top companies in our Silicon Valley keep sucking up all the top talent. Why? Because new top talent wants to go where they know the other top talent is known to work. So number 1 is they want to work with other great people. Number 2 is they want a challenge. People are inspired by bold ideas, big goals, and the chance to do something great. Top talent wants to be part of something bigger, something special, and something meaningful, something that makes a positive impact. As Steve Jobs said, he said, people are attracted to vision. Put a dent in the universe, he said, attracted like-minded people who shared that vision. And that became our advantage. Richard Branson's biographer remarked how Richard had a knack for getting people to work for less or for no financial reward, but for the greater good. That in some way, what they were doing furthered the cause of some noble idea, end quote. 76% of young people consider a company's social and environmental commitments when deciding where to work. 83% of young people say they would be more loyal to a company that helps them contribute to social and environmental issues. So you see, mission-driven companies tend to have a 30% higher productivity and a 40% higher level of retention. Some of you might be familiar with Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba. Here's what he said. He said, quote, "Today, if you want to be a great company, think about what great social problem you can solve," end quote. So as I mentioned, while previous generations first pursued success and financial gain, and then once they obtained those, they shifted to significance, young people are starting in reverse. They're looking for significance and then trying to figure out how to make money later. So you having a purpose and doing something meaningful is of vital importance to them if you want to attract, recruit, and then retain and fulfill their core human need. All of us having grown up in relative peace and abundance, you see, money was never a concern for them. Thus, they were afforded the ability to advance higher on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They could start at self-actualization. They didn't have to worry about survival and how to keep a roof over their head. So young people are now happiest and most engaged at work when they feel that they are making a difference. Okay, so that's number 2, the challenge. The number 3 thing they're looking for is an opportunity. People want to see a pathway to a better future, an opportunity to reach higher levels of leadership, to move from lower opportunity to higher opportunity. This is the gaming generation, right? They want to see how they ascend on the scoreboard. That's just part of how they have been acculturated. And that goes to number 4, growth. People want to feel better about themselves, particularly young people. Put your growth trajectory in your job posting. How the position that you're hiring for will be an essential part of the growth plan for the whole organization, that they have purpose. Work culture is also extremely important for young people. They want to work in an environment where they can collaborate with others. Flexible schedules, as I mentioned before, time off and embracing the latest technology to communicate are also important for young people. They also want an environment that actively invests in their personal development and in their skills training so that they can ascend up the ladder. So if your young people feel that they are not making progress in their own personal development, they will soon become disconnected and they will start seeking opportunities elsewhere. Rather than wait years for a promotion, young people are looking for fast growth. So you want to structure your organizational growth staircase with a lot of little achievable steps between the bigger ones. If normally the next raise was here, the next promotion was here, put a lot of little staircase achievements along the way. Remember, again, this is the video game generation. They want to quickly and constantly achieve new levels and to see the evidence of their progress all along the way. They also expect structure, clear directions, and transparency, but they want to do it their way, and it's probably on some sort of a screen of sorts. And then number 5, money. But I want you to understand, it's the 5th one on the list. It's on the list, yes, but it is the last one on the list. That is really important for you to know. Now, to lead them, you want to keep it real. Another way to connect with your younger generation is by creating greater trust. And that starts by you being more authentic and more transparent and more real. They have the same fears of not being good enough, of not being smart enough or worthy enough, as we all do. So they need praise. And this generation needs lots and lots and lots of it. Like I said, you can disagree whether that's right or wrong, but remember, you have to adapt yourself to them, not them to you. So whatever amount of praise that you're giving them now, I guarantee you it is nowhere near enough to satisfy their core human need. I would suggest that you consider 5 or 10 timesing it in real time and do it right now in praise, right in the moment of praise. They want to please you, and they need to be acknowledged when they do. And their appetite for this response is insatiable. Oh, and they want to be heard. Be ready to listen to young people a lot. So hopefully that gave you a start on how to do this. Again, I would refer you to our Global Business Masterclass training for more strategies on this hiring and recruiting process, specific steps, and how to capture top talent and human capital. Okay, if you want the full process, the complete promotional plan, and all the interview scripts and filtering tools, you'll gain access to all of that in our Business Masterclass. You can inquire about that below. And share with us what stood out to you the most in this answer. Make some notes in your Darren Daily journal, of course, and then tell us what surprised you. What was your biggest takeaway? Tell us that in the comments below.
So my Darren Daily friends, after this episode, I wanted to share with you personally. Working on the A-Team is undoubtedly the most challenging yet rewarding experience of my entire career. Our culture is one of high impact and high growth, and we are held to a standard of excellence at all times, which is why I love it. I also love that we teach this to other business leaders to create in their organization. If you want to learn how to foster this kind of mindset, commitment, and growth culture in your business, then I highly recommend that you hurry and secure a seat to Darren's upcoming Business Masterclass. These private intensives have been $15,000, but now that it's gone global, you benefit from the economy of scale, and the enrollment is half the previous price. Plus, Darren personally guarantees a 3x return on your enrollment fee or your money back. You can't lose, except by not going. So, as Darren says, the bigger your dreams, the more important your team. So if you have big dreams and big ambitions to make a big impact, you can register at dhbusinessmasterclass.com. And my Darren Daily friends, please hurry. I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity. Once again, that's dhbusinessmasterclass.com. Have a wonderful day.